Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here, doing a Rome Total War Online multiplayer battle. I command the Romans, and my opponent is Rick James 1138 in command of the Macedonians. And you can see here I'm using the Primarian Polybian army. I've got 4 units of the Principes, 3 units of the Hastati, and 3 units of Triarii, followed up by 2 squadrons of the Equite horse units. I didn't bring any V-lights, but instead I concentrated all my efforts into my infantry. But the Polybian army would have had V-lights. I've used them before in some of my videos. Alright, let's go look at Rick James' Macedonian army. He has 4 units of archers, 6 units of royal pikes, 2 squadrons of the companion cav, 2 squadrons of Macedonian cav, 1 light lancer cav unit, 1 Illyrian peltist unit, and 1 regular peltist unit. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm using my equites to harass the enemy's archers. That'll screen the movement of my infantry, so I can move my guys forward and pepper the enemy's phalanx with my my javelin. Right there's the enemy's general in command of the companions. So my opponent's driving out my my equite raids with his various horse units. Typically, I would have used 4 units of Principes and 4 units of Hastati and 2 units of Triarii, but on this occasion, I wasn't sure how much, what kind of cavalry my opponent would have been using. So I sacrificed one of my melee units for an extra Triarii unit. But just remember, if you're trying to use a Primarian Polybian army, then you can't have any archers. That's just cheating. As I said, if you want to use a skirmish unit for this Polybian army, then you have to use the V-lights. Alright, so this is the crucial part. I have to discharge my javelin at the Macedonians, otherwise my infantry doesn't stand a chance against these royal pikes. So here we are, getting into the phase. And I didn't charge this unit right here, because they're still discharging their pila, but you can see in the very background that I was able to charge that Macedonian phalanx unit. Alright, so my opponent's moving his cav behind my lines, so I'm going to keep my Triarii back there to ward off an attack. And this, I didn't see him coming here, because I was looking at the infantry fight. But when I noticed that, I was able to bring my Triarii back. But I lost one of my equite units, which was very unfortunate. But still, we're going to cause some losses to those companions that came in. And this is kind of cool because it looks like both of us were using historically balanced armies here. Alright, look at that. My first line of infantry just disintegrated in front of this Macedonian advance. But I've got my next batch ready to come. And that's the beauty of this Polybian army, is that there's a lot of reserves. Although my Triarii reserve is going to be useless against royal pikemen. But here comes my second set of infantry. And the reason why you call these guys Polybian is because the historian Polybius was the one who described this army in detail. And this is the kind of army that the Romans would have been using against Hannibal, and also against the later Hellenistic kingdoms. Because as you guys know, the Romans did fight the Hellenistic kingdoms after they fought off the Carthaginians. Alright, so here is the crucial phase. This is the infantry fight. And I'm keeping my reserves ready in the back. And here comes his right flank of the royal pikemen coming up the hill. And some of my guys are ready to discharge their javelins, so they're going to charge into these. Well, those guys are going to walk into the royal pikes, but the rest of my guys are going to charge into the royal pikemen. And it's kind of hectic because my opponent has his archers behind his phalanx. And right there my opponent made a huge mistake. He charged my Triarii, which is something I would have been asking for, but instead he gave it to me. He charges his horse right into my anti-cav units. So that routed like 2 of his horse units right there. And here my guys finally ate through his first set of royal pikes. That was his royal pikes on his left flank. And I'm going to go towards his archers, but I can't turn back and outflank his pikes, because if I do that, then his archers will shower the backs of my infantry. So I have to keep this a frontal fight against his phalanx, just because of his archers being there. But I was already reading the description, and it says his guys were going to break any minute. So I was able to maintain this pressure on his pikemen. And then my opponent made another mistake. He charged my Triarii again. And my Triarii were ready for it. So now I'm going to take my Triarii, I'm going to chase his horsemen up the hill. And that's going to make them pretty much run away from the fight. But yeah, look at his phalanx, it's starting to crumble now. He still has most of his archers intact. But I'm going to send the rest of my Roman infantry and its archers. And at this point my opponent admits defeat, because his cavalry maneuvers have been unsuccessful. Anyways, a good game to my opponent. It was very fun because we both used historical style armies. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle on the Macedonian ruins. That's the map.